Good evening, everyone. It's Raven Cade back here at Applebee's, 3501 North Main Street in Altus. It's another Thursday upon us, and it's the final Thursday for Thursday Night Football. And let me tell you, we got a lot to cover today, including an interview with the play-by-play announcers for the Army-Navy game that's going to be happening on Saturday. So, cool things happening here at Applebee's, 3501 North Main Street in Altus, and it's all brought to you by the Sports Destination Station, which is your Applebee's. Welcome to the neighborhood, and it's brought to you weekly by Moment Media Incorporated, AM 1380, The Ticket, Force Nutrition, Custom Graphics, Crossfire of Altus, Western Oklahoma State College, and Discount Tire of Lawton. We got a lot to cover, folks, in a short time to do it, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit, but I just want to remind you that on Saturday, Moment Media Incorporated is having their year-end open house, and it's going to be going on from 11 to 5, so bring your picture ID and be 18 years or older, and you'll get an opportunity to have a 5-minute audio, video, recording interview. Fill out the application, get to meet the DJs and all the staff and upper management, and check out the world of radio and then some with Moment Media Incorporated year-end open house that's taking place this Saturday from 11 to 5, and you don't want to miss that opportunity. You want to have a career change or get into something cool and something new for 2020? Come over to the year-end open house, Moment Media Incorporated, 1525 South Flower Mound Road, Lawton, Oklahoma. We'll be ready for you. Be 18 years or older, bring your valid ID. Come expecting to be the best, because that's what we look for, is the best. We'll be right back after this.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever.
Applebee's new sizzling entrees, now starting at $9.99. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Applebee's, 3501 North Main Street in Altus, home of the Sports Destination Podcast, with yours truly, Raven Cade. Good afternoon, everyone. Raven Cade with some absolutely important local Altus and area news information of extreme importance. The local news that you need 5 days a week is available right now with the Altus Online News. News locally the way that you need it. You can get it now 5 days a week with the Altus Online News. Log on to www.altusonlinenews.com and get your $8 subscription and get closer to all of the local and area news that you need when you need it. It's the Altus Online News, available right now at altusonlinenews.com. Get your subscription today and get that local and area news that you need now. Brought to you exclusively by KWHW, AM and FM, and KQ 106, all part of the Monarch Broadcasting family.
The best is Master Volume Sound and Lighting Services with DJ Vice, Gary Rainville, Matt Mason, and DJ Raven Cade. Follow us on Facebook.
Man, wouldn't that be cool that this gets on the Kelly Clarkson Show? All right, let's do our best now. Cue that music.
Candy cane, candy cane, candy cane cash.
It's time for the 2019 edition of the Candy Cane Cash Sweepstakes. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Moment Media Incorporated, alongside QITC Studio Productions, will be bringing you the entertainment before the festivities begin Saturday, December the 14th. Now, what that means to you is that you get to the City Auditorium early, preferably between 8:30 and 9:30. Make sure you get a great spot because it's going to be great festivities starting at 10 o'clock. But in the meantime, enjoy the Christmas holiday spirit music provided by QITC Studios and Molman Media Incorporated. Your chance to win up to $12,500 will be Saturday, December the 14th. Remember, you have to be present to win.
That's the Candy King Cash.
Foul tongue like bread.
everyone. We're back here at Applebee's, 3501 North Main Street, Altus, Oklahoma. Your sports destination podcast on every Thursday at 6 o'clock for Thursday Night Football. And this is the last Thursday Night Football game that will take place for the 2019-2020 season from the NFL. But we got a lot to talk about, and this is going to be a special edition of the Sports Destination Podcast because we're going to jump into some great college football information. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about all of the games. There are going to be approximately 41 bowl games that take place this postseason. That's going to be pretty cool, and I would say just about 30 of them are going to be top caliber games. So let's jump right into it. And thank you very much, Applebee's, for allowing me to just hang out and talk about sports in the Sports Destination station. I'm telling you, we're building a culture here like no other. 3501 North Main Street in Altus. And did you know that there are multiple locations through the RHM franchise throughout Lubbock? There's a couple in Lubbock. There's Amarillo. There's Lawton, Duncan, and right here in Altus. So no matter where you go, hey, there's a neighborhood near you. Find yours at Applebees.com. Let's jump right into the college football postseason bowl games. And the first one's going to take place next Friday at the Makers Wanted Bahamas Bowl. And we got Buffalo versus Charlotte. And Charlotte and Buffalo are going to be at Thomas A. Robinson Stadium in Nassau at 2 o'clock. And you can catch that action on ESPN. And the prediction is Buffalo's going to win that championship 31-24. I'm not real familiar with those teams because that's a whole different conference. But by the records, you got a running back that is high pace, high action. His name is Jarrett Patterson. But there is a stout defense. Khalil Mack on the Charlotte team. So the Charlotte 49ers against Buffalo. That's going to be the first game next Friday. Let's check out the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. Utah State versus Kent State. That's going to be 7:30 next Friday as well. And that'll be on ESPN2. And that'll be in Frisco, Texas, Toyota Stadium. This year, the prediction is that Utah State is going to take Kent State by a touchdown and a safety. That's just the numbers. They got 36-28, and that's the only way you can match it up. Touchdown and a touchdown or a 2-point conversion. But that's going to be on ESPN2 at 7:30 on the 20th, and on the 21st next Saturday, the Celebration Bowl between the Alcorn State and North Carolina State A&T. It's going to be on ABC at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. These teams will meet in its second consecutive season after North Carolina A&T prevailed 24-22 last year. And people are expecting another close game with this one. They're saying that 28-20, North Carolina A&T. The New Mexico Bowl, Central Michigan versus San Diego State. That's going to be 2 o'clock on the 21st, and that will be also on ESPN at Dreamstyle Stadium in Albuquerque, New Mexico. San Diego State has been pretty dynamic in its conference, but diverse at the same time, playing more balanced football this year, according to the analyst we at ESPN. But the Aztec do force a lot of mistakes, and they make very few. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. San Diego State, they're saying they're going to take that over against Central Michigan. On the Cure Bowl, which will be Liberty versus Georgia Southern, that'll be at 2:30 on CBS Sports Affiliate Network from Orlando, Florida. That'll be at 2:30 on the 21st. And the end cap for the 21st, not the end cap, the 3:30 game will be the SMU Mustangs against Florida Atlantic. That'll be at 3:30 at FAU Stadium in Boca Raton, Florida. The SMU team is celebrating its first 10-win season in a number of years. So they're picking Florida Atlantic over SMU by only 2 points. I think it's going to be the other way around, and Florida Atlantic's going to lose by a touchdown. I've seen the way SMU plays, and they play pretty good football. The Caminella Bowl, Florida International versus Arkansas State. That's going to be at 5:30 on ESPN. In Montgomery, Alabama. Not too familiar with those teams, but the commentators and the analysts are saying that pretty much Arkansas State is the real deal, and they should win this bowl game pretty easily against Florida International. We shall see. Moving on to the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl, you got the Boise State Broncos taking on the Washington Wildcats. The Huskies. Correction. That'll be at 7:30 from Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. And Chris Peterson's final game as a Husky and as a coach comes against a program he built into a national sensation. How crazy is that you play against your former team and then you're leaving from the current team you're at? That's going to be interesting. But I would think Mr. Peterson will allow his Huskies to do really well in that bowl game. They're only picking Washington up by a field goal on that one. The R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl is Appalachian State versus UAB, and that will be at 9 o'clock, and that will end cap the game on the 21st. Appalachian State is nationally ranked at number 23 at my last count, and they are a Power 5 team for sure. But UAB are no scrubs as well, so I expect that to be a tight game. I would say Appalachian State by a touchdown. I'm going to pick the score. Let's just say 34-28. There, I said it, and I'm not taking it back either. On the 23rd, Christmas Eve, you got the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl. Boy, these bowl names, these days. It's UFC taking on Marshall. That's going to be at 2:30 on ESPN at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. On Christmas Eve, you got the SoFi Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii is taking on BYU. That's going to be at 8 o'clock at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. I'm expecting Hawaii to take care of business against Brigham Young. Yes, I said it. The upset by 2 scores. Hawaii up by 2 touchdowns. On the 26th, after Christmas, you have the Walk-Ons Independent Bowl. Louisiana Tech versus the Hurricanes of Miami. My goodness. That's going to be a tough bowl game for Louisiana Tech. I see Miami up by at least 2 on this one. That'll be on at 4 o'clock on ESPN. And the Independent Stadium in Shreveport. And the Quick Lane Bowl, Pittsburgh versus Eastern Michigan, will also be on the 26th. And that game is going to be at Ford Field in Detroit. And then you have the Military Bowl presented by Northrop Grumman at North Carolina versus Temple. That will be noon on the 26th. Yep, it'll be at noon. No, correction, that'll be noon on the 27th. Sometimes the mouse just don't want to scroll when I'm trying to talk through. Come on, mouse, give the program. We're putting on a show here. So North Carolina taking on Temple. I see the Tar Heels taking care of business with Mac Brown and company. And the New Era Pinstripe Bowl will be the Michigan State Spartans versus Wake Forest. That game will be at 3:20 on the 27th. And the game that most of the people in Oklahoma want to pay attention to on the 27th will be the Oklahoma State Cowboys taking on former Big 12 teammates, the Texas A&M Aggies. That'll be at 6:45 on ESPN. Chuba Herbert against the entire Aggie squad. That's my opinion. I think Chuba's going to eat up some yards. We're going to take home another trophy, and that's going to look very good for the program and Mike Gundy and company. I'm picking Oklahoma State up by 17. Yep, that would be 2 touchdowns and a field goal, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm taking them up by. There, I said it, and that is the law. And then the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl will be USC versus Iowa. That'll be at 8 o'clock on the 27th, and that'll be live in San Diego. Clay Helton is back, and USC tries to springboard a critical 2020 season with its first Holiday Bowl win since 2014, and that game features strength, speed, and tenacity on all levels. I don't think Iowa Hawkeyes can handle all that speed and aggression, but they're going to try. But I'm picking USC to win by 10. And then on the 28th, ladies and gentlemen, this is things get interesting. The Camping World Bowl, Notre Dame and Iowa State. Now, the Iowa State Cyclones are no slouch. They are a competitive team. The coaching matchups here are pretty much a tell of the tape, pound for pound for these teams. Brian Kelly leads Notre Dame against Iowa State, and Matt Campbell, who will be on the short list to succeed in South Bend, the defensive coordinators. I mean, it's going to be like a chess match on this one. I'm going to call this one close by field goal, Iowa State. We need the Big 12 to represent big time. And so far, we're doing pretty good. And the Cheez-It Bowl, folks. I'm sorry, I missed the Cheez-It Bowl. And that'll be the end-cap game on the 27th. That'll be the Air Force Falcons taking on the Washington State Cougars. The playoff bowl game that captured Americans' hearts and minds is back. It's Cheez-Its back, for crying out loud. You got Mike Leach, and you got the Air Force team. I'm picking the Air Force to win this one 37-28. And we'll be back here in just a little bit, and we'll have an interview with the Army Navy play-by-play guys, Mr. Rich DeMarco and his partner in crime. We'll have that interview in just a little bit, and we're going to talk about America's game. This is the official last game of the college football regular season, the Army-Navy game. It's going to be awesome. Good time, good interview. Stick around. You're listening to the Applebee Sports Destination podcast with me, Raven Cade. We'll be right back. Take your nutritional goals by force, there's only one name you need to know, and that is Force Nutrition at 712 North Main Street in Altus. Take your nutritional goals to new heights and new levels with Force Nutrition. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on Saturdays, 7 to noon. You will be on your way to the best you that you can be with Force Nutrition. So look no further than Force Nutrition, 712 North Main Street in Altus. Also, like us on Facebook.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
And we're back with the Applebee Sports Destination podcast, and we're broadcasting live here. And we got an opportunity, a rare opportunity, with 1380 AM The Ticket and Moment Media Incorporated to talk about America's game that's going to be happening this weekend between the Army Black Knights and the Navy Midshipmen. And this is a rivalry that has been going on since 1890, and this is going to be happening for the 120th time. The annual Army Navy Navy game is the last regular season matchup in college football. While the Navy still leads the series 60-52-7, Army is battling for a fourth consecutive win, having broken Navy's 14-game winning streak, the longest for either side in 2016, trying to hold on to the Commander-in-Chief trophy yet for another year. And I have the absolute pleasure to talk to the broadcasters for the game, the play-by-play masters, Rich DeMarco making the calls for Army and Pete Medhurst making the calls for Navy. Good evening, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
And I just want to jump in and say one thing. I am proud to be in a military town that has radio broadcasting in it, and to see the improvement of the Army Black Knights is totally phenomenal over the last few years. And as play-by-play, how does that make you feel to be a part of America's game?
Oh, it means everything, and being a little part of the game, which means so much to so many people, and, be able to, like I like to say, we kind of tell the story of our respective teams, of Army football, the players, the team, and to be able to tell that story to the fans, not only throughout the Hudson Valley, but across the nation and around the world is something I really take to heart, so it means a lot.
And with your experience with the Army-Navy game, I think this is if my opinion stands correct, the biggest between both teams, because Army's on a roll against Navy, but at the end of the day, it's about a brotherhood, but it's fierce competition as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, both coaches will tell you, both, schools will tell you, whenever there's an Army-Navy event, the folks at USAA have been so good at promoting not only Army-Navy football, but Army-Navy series, period. And coming up in the spring, Army and Navy are going to play baseball across the street here at Citizens Bank Park. So Army-Navy, the rivalry itself continues to grow corporately by leaps and bounds thanks to the folks at USAA. But, when you look at, I was talking a moment ago with Rich, Army wasn't going to continue to have the same results in football. They were going to eventually get it right. And Jeff Lunk has been a terrific coach. He's hired a great staff. Their player development has been so much better over the last few years. Depth of the program has gotten better, and that's why they've won at the level that they have. And they're trying to beat Navy for a fourth straight time. And don't get me wrong, the folks at Navy completely understand what's at stake here. And this senior class for Navy is one of the few senior classes in the history of the school, at least as of right now, that hasn't beaten Army on the football field. So they understand the gravity of the situation from a football perspective coming up this week. But even they acknowledge, you have to acknowledge Army for doing the things they needed to do as a football program that, ended that 14-game winning streak and has built on it, where they're looking for 4 in a row themselves coming up here on Saturday.
Well, gentlemen, before we part ways this morning, I'd like to thank you again for tuning in to 1380 AM, The Ticket, here in Lawton, Fort Sill. But one last question. As an aspiring play-by-play sports commentator type, what advice would you give somebody getting into this profession?
I would give 2 pieces of advice. Always be prepared and don't say no to any opportunity, because you never know when that's going to lead to the one that you really want.
Very well put. Thank you very much. Once again, I had the absolute pleasure of talking to Rich DeMarco and Mr. Pete Medhurst, play-by-play announcers for America's game, Army-Navy, this Saturday right here on 1380 AM, The Ticket.
Never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight. Fever.
Applebee's new sizzling entrees, now starting at $9.99. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Applebee's, 3501 North Main Street in Altus, home of the Sports Destination Podcast, with yours truly, Raven Cade. And we're back here with the Applebee Sports Destination Podcast. And we're going to be talking about a couple of cool things with the NFL. Week number 15, folks. Can you believe it? Week number 15? Goodness. The season is just going by as quick as possible, but I need to tell you about some incredible MVPs here at Applebee's. Applebee's, folks. Get the gift that keeps on giving. Buy a $50 gift card and get a bonus $10 card while supplies last, because people have been buying these things left and right. You don't want to miss your opportunity to get you a gift card for that person or persons or office that you care about. The $50 gift card, $10 bonus card is back. Buy a $50 gift card, get a $10 bonus card. More details at Applebees.com. Also, take advantage of those sizzling entrees starting at $9.99 right now at an Applebee's neighborhood near you. And Merry Christmas to you and your family on behalf of myself and Moment Media Incorporated, QITC Studios, and Applebee's. Get yourself the Merry Dollarita. Enjoy responsibly. 21 means 21. And it's their holiday gift to you right here from the neighborhood of Applebee's, 3501 North Main Street in Altus. Before we jump into the NFL, I want to do a tail of the tape between the Sooners and the LSU Tigers. Okay. Looking at your Oklahoma Sooners, they're going to be playing that game on the 28th. And to be exact, let me get the exact time so you can dial that up in your calendar. That's going to be at 4 o'clock at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. They take on the number one team in the nation, the Tigers of LSU. Joe Burrow pretty much going to probably win the Heisman at this juncture, but they still got to play the Sooners first. It's the man against the other man, Hurts, Burrow. Who will be on top? That's the question. But looking at the tail on the tape, your Sooners score at least 43.23 points per game with over 560 points for the season. They have over 332 first downs for the season. They have rushed for over 3,500 yards this year. Their passing ratio, 11.35 yards an attempt. They have over 3,939 passing yards for the season. 72 touchdowns in total. Okay, now let's look at the number one team in America, your LSU Tigers. Let's take a look right quick. All right, the Tigers put up 47.77 points per game against opponents, with a total of 621 points overall this year. They have 353 total rushing yards. 358 total first downs this season. A total of 2,177 rushing yards. 5,029 passing. And total offense, 80 touchdowns. So it's almost, dare I say, neck and neck. The only difference between the Sooners and the Tigers is the defense. We are an up-and-coming defense with the Sooners. The Tigers are already pretty much established. They have a defensive attack that is like no other, ladies and gentlemen. It will have to be the absolute best game of the Sooners' career. This will define Lincoln Riley's legacy at OU. This will put Jalen Hurst. I would say if he beats Joe Burrow, I would say Jalen Hurst gets the Heisman. Because to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Saturday, December 28th, Sooners, Tigers, 1 versus 4. Looking ahead to January for the championship. Man, it doesn't get any better than that. And people said after that Kansas State game that the Sooners only had a 17% chance of getting to this point? Well, destiny has shown different. It's time to perform, OU. It's time to finish. All right. Now, looking at the NFL, Week 17. 2 more weeks left in the regular season, and it all starts with the Jets at the Ravens tonight. Okay? Here in probably the next 20 minutes or less, the Jets entertain the Ravens. The Ravens are pretty much a superior team in the AFC. They're looking actually right now, once the Patriots get back on the roll, I think it's going to be the Patriots and the Ravens for the AFC divisional title. I really do. And for this Thursday night game, I'm going to pick the Jets to pull an upset. I know it's absolutely crazy. People say you're losing your mind, but hey, why not? Every dog has his day. The Jets beat the Cowboys. I know that's not saying a lot, but they did, and they didn't have to. So I'm thinking the Jets can pull it off. It ain't going to be nothing fancy. It might be by one or a field goal, maybe even a touchdown. I'm picking the Jets to win tonight. And then you have on Sunday, let the fun and games begin. On to Cincinnati, the Patriots at the Bengals. 12 o'clock Sunday, I'm picking the Patriots to win by 3 touchdowns on purpose because the Patriots need to win in that fashion to get back in control of the AFC. Then you got the Bears and Packers. The Bears got to come to Lambeau Field, and Aaron Rodgers does very well. I'm picking the Packers to win that one, and that's going to be at 12 o'clock. It's Seahawks and Panthers. Russell Wilson needs a game of dominance and supremacy, and I think he can do it in Carolina on Sunday. That game's going to also be 12 o'clock game. Texans and Titans. The Texans got to go to Tennessee. I think the Titans can upset Deshaun Watson on that one. So I'm picking the Titans by 2 touchdowns at home. Dolphins and Giants. I mean, that is something you really can't really get excited about that. So I'm gonna just pick the Dolphins. Just because, why not? It's gone that way for them this year. Eagles and Redskins. The Eagles need to win to get in control of the NFC East. Seriously, I need them to get back at number 1 status. And I think they can do so in Washington. I really think they can. So I'm picking the Eagles to win there by a touchdown. Broncos and Chiefs. Chiefs at home. Broncos got to travel. I'm going to pick the Broncos. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to beat the Chiefs. Why not the Broncos? Bucks and Lions. Neither one of them are going to the playoffs, so, I mean, that's just going to be, I'm not even going to pick on that one. I'm just leave that alone. The Browns and Cardinals. Kyler Murray against former teammate Baker Mayfield. May the best team win. The Browns need to win, but I think Kyler Murray can pull it off at home against Baker. I think Kyler is better than Baker. It has shown. Okay, we got the Jaguars and Raiders. I'm picking the Raiders at home for that one. Vikings and Chargers. I'm picking the Vikings to upset the Chargers at home. That'll be Sunday at 3:05. Cowboys and Rams. The Rams are going to dominate in Dallas, and it's going to just continue to the woes of the Cowboys, to mine and Stephen A. Smith's delight. Yep, I said it. I'm picking the Rams by 3 touchdowns in Jerryland on Sunday. Falcons and 49ers. The Falcons don't have a chance against 49ers at home. I'm sorry. Sorry for you. I'm not doing it. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. All right, Bills and Steelers. Picking the Bills to do some damage against the Steelers on their own home turf, and that's going to be Sunday Night Football. And on Monday, to wrap up Week 15, you got the Colts and Saints. Wow. I'm going to pick... I got to pick the Saints because Drew Brees has got to get back in control. He's got to get some things going for his Saints squad after that so close loss to San Fran last week. They need a morale booster, and that'll definitely be a morale booster. Looking at Thursday Night Football, like I said, this is the last Thursday Night Football game of the regular season. And, of course, I'm picking the Jets to win. I know people think I'm crazy, but, hey, it could happen. And you can catch that game tonight on the NFL Network, Fox, and Amazon Prime. Now, looking ahead to the 21st in the NFL, we got some network special games on the 21st. You got the Texans and the Buccaneers at the Buccaneers Saturday the 21st at noon, and that's only going to be available on the NFL Network. And the game following thereafter, which has every playoff implication known to man, the Bills have to come to Foxborough and take on Brady and the Pats. I'm picking the Pats to win that one, to make a statement as they get ready for the playoffs. And that'll be Saturday at 3:30 on the 21st. And then you got the Rams at San Fran. Ooh, that's an ugly game for the Rams. I don't think Jared Goff has what it takes against that defense. That defense is the real deal. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid on it, but they do play very good football. And, I'm going to pick San Fran to win that one, probably by 3 touchdowns. Not by the help completely of Jimmy Garoppolo. Let me just make that clear. It'll be the defense. The defense has made San Francisco what it is. The offense only helps, but their tight end, Kittle, is good. But it's the defense that makes San Fran who they are today. And nobody else can prove it otherwise to me. So let's talk about, before we get done for today, let's talk about some amazing things that are happening also on Applebee's.com. You can make Applebee's your to-go restaurant. You can put the app on your phone, okay? Get the app on your phone today. Go online, start your order everything that's on the entire menu, okay? You can even order the lunchtime menu. I mean, everything, literally. And if you get your delivery done with DoorDash, you can get a free, that means free as far as the delivery charge, every Sunday from courtesy of DoorDash. So whenever there's a DoorDash near you that takes care of your Applebee's, when you order to go, you can get a free delivery on Sunday. The delivery availability and coverage varies by restaurant. So check out Applebee's.com today to know what you can do and get that $50 gift card and a $10 bonus gift card. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. It's about that time, isn't it? And join us at the Altus Downtown Square Saturday at 10 o'clock for the 2019 edition of the Candy Cane Cash Sweepstakes Spectacular that you've been waiting for all year. It's about time, folks, for it. So happy. Somebody's going to win up to $12,500 on Saturday right here in Altus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Applebee's Destination Station podcast right here. Yeah, I'm so happy to be with you every Thursday. Thank you very much, Kenny, Mike, Justin, T, for allowing me to come into your neighborhood and bring the sauce to the barbecue. Brought to you by Moment Media Incorporated, 1380 AM The Ticket, Custom Graphics, Force Nutrition, Western Oklahoma State College, Crossfire of Altus, Discount Tire of Lawton, 82nd and Quanah Park Trailway. Until next week, folks, God bless, and let's go watch some football. It's almost time.